Welcome everybody to a special episode where Matt and I are um, in shock. I mean, I'm in awe. I'm in awe. I'm in awe. Matt's in shock. Um, Matt had to call in sick today from work because he's in so much shock about this news that just hit us. Um, Matt, would you like
Something
to?
like that.
Yeah, we'll go with that. It's easier. Would you like to tell the fans what happened today?
So I guess early this morning, North American time, which would have been sometime later in the day in the UK, Chelsea Football Club announced that they would be parting ways with their manager, Thomas Tuchel, which
Yeah,
was a big surprise to me.
me too. Me too. I had I it's so funny too because you sent me a message and you're like, "Hey, would it be weird if I told you one of the big clubs got rid of their head coach?" And I'm thinking to myself, "Okay, what big club would even be able to do that?" So I'm like, Liverpool? I mean, that would be just dumb to do that, but it could be Liverpool. Chelsea, that would be dumb too. Um, I was like, no,
It
no,
wouldn't be Arsenal right now.
would be ours.
United
Yeah,
just hired their new guy.
yep. Man, I would have been, yeah, yeah, definitely. But that would have been like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. I would have thought that. Um, but I did. So yeah, Tuchel being out today. Wow, big, big shock. Um, a man who has within the last year and a half won Champions League. I believe so. Won Champions
Yep,
League. Um, took a team
they
that,
won the Super Cup as well.
yep, won the Super Cup. Was in the FA Cup Finals. Um, went ahead and took a team that was in like eighth, I think, seventh or eighth, and put them and made sure that they got to the Champions League. I think it was
Yep.
that exact season. He did so much for that club, and I can't think of he why it failed. Like, so is there something that you saw there that was a reason why they fired him, Matt?
So there were like some reports coming out that there was some instability and discontent in the locker room. Um,
Okay.
I'm still like shocked because the owners are brand new, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They've only
Yeah.
been there with him for less than 6 months,
Yep. Yep.
and they're already willing to make a big decision like that after letting him bring in all of his transfer targets for the summer.
Yeah, and
Very
the winter.
baffling to me.
Yeah, and the winter
Yeah,
targets too.
so it must have been some personal thing with players or with management that really just couldn't be fixed, which is crazy because like that's essentially the same way Conte went out,
Yep.
and it's like watching it all over again.
Yeah, it was a shocker. I last night saw Demento, some the Champions League team. Oh, I gotta turn my light on
Oh,
a little
the
bit. Maybe.
Croatian team,
Yeah, the Croatian
Dinamo
team.
Zagreb.
Yeah,
They're the
beat.
best team in Croatia for their own record.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the defenseman, the left defenseman, is the guy who saved them that game. So many chances I saw in the highlight reel. He was coming to the outside.
Lubicic, I think his name
God, you know
was.
these names so well. Yeah, probably. It sounds about right. Beautiful pass to the striker. The striker did really well. He was like stiff arming the dude, like, no, get away from me, get away from me, and then made this beautiful chip, little doo doo doo, right over the head of the goalie. Went in. The thing was there was a huge problem. Now I'm thinking that the coach was like, hey, I'm gonna rest some of my players and I'm going to put in these backups because we're going to win this game. Even with the backups in, we'll be fine. And the backup goalie was in for.
Well, so that was because of a knock.
Oh, okay, okay,
Mendy had some tightness patella tendon or something,
Was
so
that
he wasn't able to play.
was that because of the West Ham game when he took that hit? Which
Um, might be.
yeah,
Um, for the record though, Kepa made a very good save after the first goal.
hmm
It was going top corner and he like knocked it aside and it went off the bar.
Oh wow,
Um,
okay.
no, he played well. He was not the problem. Um, honestly, the midfield just looked very poor.
Yeah.
The defense obviously got caught out, and
Yep.
then they couldn't score.
Yeah.
They played Mount in the central position today
hmm
or yesterday, I guess,
Yep.
which normally he's more of an advanced attacker.
hmm
He didn't look like he was playing his best either. Um,
Yeah.
all around, like they brought Ziyech on, and he did not complete a single pass, and he had like two corners and a free kick or two free kicks that were awful.
hmm
Just everybody was off,
Yeah. Yep. Pulisic did come on. Their goalie made these amazing saves. There was one time where
and
he
he
did
played
this.
well.
He played very well. He made this save off a kick. It went up in the air, dropped down, and even though the guy was offsides, I think it was Sterling was offsides. He still saved the Sterling kick. That was like 3 feet away. Literally, it was a tap in basically. He's like, nope, I got this. It's like, wow. So their goalie. The thing is that that's the thing. Like they were they played their hearts out. I'm
They
sure.
played very strong defense,
Yeah,
very compact
very much
team. They
so.
worked hard. Aubameyang did score, but it came back as offside after VAR.
Yep, yep. I think honestly,
But like
honestly that
that isn't a result
uh, yeah
like this is a team that showed that like they deserved to win that game.
yeah
It
yes
like it wasn't just that Chelsea played poorly. It was that the other team also played very well.
yes
Um, no, maybe it's like in combination with the losses to Southampton and Leeds and people, but even so, like it's so early in the season. It's a month
yeah
in. I don't understand.
yeah. I am in more shock. I thought honestly like when you said one of the big clubs fired their coach, I actually thought you meant Leicester on accident. I was like, oh, he means Leicester. Okay. I was like, yeah, they're gonna get there. Yep, that sounds reasonable. Get him out of there. Get Leicester City's coach out of there. He hasn't won a game all year. Yada yada yada. That sort of thing. So I was in shock when I heard that, but yeah, that is one of the weirdest things that they did. I was talking to Matt about it, and I'm thinking the way the people came into because this is supposed to be like a trust, and a lot of these people are Americans, and a lot of people are business people. Like this is supposed to be a big business group. The owners are now, and they don't care what you did in the past or the last 2 seasons, basically 2 seasons or season and a half you want to call it, but 2 seasons, and came into this season and went, no, you're losing. You were losing. No, let's get you out. And they're like, we all about the money. If you're losing these games, I mean, they lost. Like Matt and I looked it up, and they basically lost like 1.5 million, 1.5 to 2 million pounds last night by not winning that game last night. And so roughly that's about like what was it, 3.1 million dollars? Was that right, Matt?
Something like that.
Yeah, like
No, that was last year's, so it could be even higher.
yeah, yeah. So you lose a game that you should have won, and it's like, oh my God, and maybe that was the last straw, and then the big thing. Now, what the heck is going to happen? Now let's look forward a little bit more to the team right now. What the heck is going to happen to the players? Let's talk about players, and we'll get a little deeper into the coaching
Well,
carousel that's going to be there. But
I think first off, I just want to like
hmm
highlight how, despite their performances in the league,
yeah,
they're still in sixth.
yeah,
Like they're still only like 3 points off top four, and like it's not like they're sitting in its 17th and just horrible.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I'm baffled. Like,
yeah,
but yeah, there's like, what is going to happen with the players? All the players that he just brought in, like all of the players that he knew from managing before, like Thiago
yeah,
Silva and people, like
yep. Aubameyang coming
There's
in too. Huge
yeah,
signing just days ago, and it's like, wait a
so he
minute.
managed him at Dortmund,
Yep,
I believe,
yep.
and then yeah, he's managed Thiago Silva at Paris. Um, yeah, like obviously there was some sort of breakdown.
Yeah,
Um, you could tell some of the players were getting frustrated in the game yesterday too.
I saw that too.
Um,
Yeah.
but like, are they frustrated at themselves? Are they frustrated at the situation they're in? Like, I don't know.
I think I've played some organized sports, on video games and in real life. And what happens is, as a player, you go through these solo mindsets where your life is almost like a bubble, where you're just like, the reason why everything's going wrong is not me, it's so and so and so. And some people on the team might think, okay, I don't like this player's not good enough or whatever, or I don't like how this player plays with me. I don't like that. Give me a better player to play with. And so they have to blame the coach. And so when games like that happen, where there's games that you should have won or should be winning, the only person you can think of at that time is, oh man, we lost the game because we didn't have, let's say, Mendy. We didn't have Mendy in. You should have played Mendy. And then so that's where the frustration comes. Even when or you're taken off the field, like, who are you gonna put in? I'm your best player, type of thing. And they'll get that style where they look at them and they'll say, I need to play this more. I need to be the guy, the go-to guy. We would have won the game or at least came back if you put me on. Or the people on the bench even say, if I would have been on the field, I could have helped us or whatever. It's this bubbly, almost narcissistic style of mindset on there. So I think the frustration comes from a selfishness or selfishness, where the players are all going to be thinking to themselves, you know, man, I know, especially how elite they are, they're gonna be like, man, I know if if coach would have played me in the right spot, or coach would have told me to do this or attack or da 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 done quicker, it would have been that. So that's where my mindset is. I think it's more of a selfishness that the players were just really mad that they couldn't get in the right positions properly, and they instead of blaming themselves internally, it had to go somewhere, so it went there.
That's such like a immature mindset though, and like
Yep.
you would hope that a lot of the veterans aren't thinking like that, like the ones who have been around the block a lot and
Hmm.
like are used to it and matured. But like, yeah, I can see some players being like that. It definitely in the Conte days, like you could tell which players were like just so mad every time they went off or like if they
Yeah.
didn't start. Um, I don't know if I see that as much now. Like, there's definitely players who think like, oh, like, I should be getting more playing time,
Yep.
or like, I should be playing, in this position, or this other player, should be starting beside me instead of this other guy.
Hmm.
But like, I don't think that's everybody, and like, especially a lot of the guys that are newer to the team, like, you don't have a lot of leg to stand on, right? Like,
Yep.
and especially if you're performing really poorly, like not to call him out or anything, but like Mason Mount looked very frustrated yesterday,
I was just
and
about to say
he's
that too.
he's
Yep.
he's yet to score
Yep.
at all this season.
Hmm.
Havertz has won, but even then, like he hasn't been amazing all year. Um, they put on the young guy Armando Broja.
Yeah.
I thought he played really well. He was
Hmm.
close to scoring a couple times. Um, but like yeah, like I don't see Sterling acting like that though. Like I don't.
Mm.
I have so much respect for Reece James though, because he consistently goes in and puts in like an amazing shift every time,
Yeah.
and he is so good. Um,
Yep.
and if he had put like three crosses into the box yesterday, that if there was just someone there on the end of them, they would have scored.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Uh, which is like really unfortunate, and like he probably is frustrated by that too.
Hmm.
But like at the same time, you can only control so much. So yeah, I don't know how many like super like egos they have in the locker room, but I didn't think it was that many.
Hmm. That's the thing. Even if one player does that
Yeah.
and gets super frustrated. Like with me, I was usually pretty cool about that. Even behind the scene, even if it was true that I didn't like playing with a certain player because maybe their quality was a little undermined, or they maybe it could even be their quality could be better than me even, but their style does not equal mine basically. So maybe one person is more about I need to have the ball. I'm more direct. Give me the ball. I'll maybe I'll go by two people, dribble by two people, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And instead of this like I'm more of a tic tac style where it's like or ticky tack it's called. I call it tic tac, but ticky tack where it's you
A
pass, you
lot of
pass, you pass.
passing.
Yeah, lots of passing, lots of style. Try to find the open guy and then get a whole boom score. It was the same thing with hockey. You get the puck and you just pass until all of a sudden either the defense or the goalie, somebody's going to make a mistake and you shoot in the net. It's very, very quick. It's very efficient, but you know exactly where everybody's going to be. If a player is not in their spots, then what happens is that brings up a hole. You get frustrated at the players. Even if that player is really good, if they even make one mistake, if they don't score
And yeah,
every single time, then it's like, oh, see what happened, coach? Yeah, that sort of thing. That's
well,
I
that style is hard as well because everybody
Yeah,
has to be very accurate too, and like
yep,
very like you can't like miss a pass, you can't like mishandle a,
yep,
a receiving pass. If you
yep,
take a bad touch or whatever, like then you lose the ball or you lose the puck or whatever, right? Like
yep.
so he won like 60 games out of his first 100, which is
Wow,
crazy.
wow.
Um,
It's
but it's
crazy.
looking like the first 50 and the last 50 are like night and day in
Yeah,
terms of like goals against and for. Um, they've allowed a lot more goals in the last 50 games,
he
and they've
was,
scored a lot less.
yeah, he was just so good. Like,
I think what's really underrated too
uh-huh.
is the departure of Timo Werner.
Yeah,
Um, Everyone like used to slag on him for not scoring a lot of chances, but he would open up defenses so much and pass so well that he contributed to so many goals, even if he didn't get a goal.
yeah,
Uh, and now he's gone, and I think he is like he's probably happy that he's back on a team where like he fits the system a lot better and
yeah,
he has a lot more ability to score. But like that Champions League final against City, like he played so well, and he's been one of the consistent like attacking players. Um, and now they don't have him. He's a miss for sure. Like they have
yeah,
Sterling, and Sterling brings something different. Um, but yeah, I think it's just like a combination of things, and it's just like who really knows at the end of the day.
yeah. Yeah, we'll later on in the week we'll get our reactions to this upcoming week and a lot of the issues, especially from your game that you had against West Ham, my game against Newcastle. I actually will admit this. I did watch every game so far except for two of them. I know the scores to all the games, but there's two games I haven't watched yet. Um, so I got so many notes. That the video's gonna be like 7 hours long. No, but it's gonna be so long. But um, now let's get to who we think on the coaches carousel are the coaches in hand. I hear so far two coaches are in line or are going to be named. Well, maybe. Um, the coach from PSG who played for Tottenham or who was coaching Tottenham.
Right,
Uh,
Pochettino.
Thank you. Him and then the top runner or the top guy so far, which is Graham Potter, which I'm like, what? I'm like, are you kidding me? You're gonna bring in a guy who has in the last 40 games. This is look it up if you do not believe me. The last 40 games has either or in 40 games out of the last 100 that he's played has had a either 0-0 or 1-1 game. He has 40 of those. Like it is almost impossible to have that much on there. And like they're gonna bring him in, and they're bringing in a guy who, yes, who's playing well, good right now. But like we even had it in our prediction video. I even said last season he did the same thing. He won, and then as soon as November, December came around, he lost um 15 straight, I think it was, from
They had the record. I think it was six straight, and
yeah,
like they probably lost another like five or six straight at a different point.
yeah, and they went from first place all the way down to finishing 11th. I think it was 11th. And you got to be kidding me. And you're going to bring that dude in here because he's on a
I just
hot
don't know if
streak?
it's like a long term solution. Like he's still building a team at Brighton, and
Oh yeah,
you
we got to
don't
think of that
know.
too,
Like
yeah.
you don't know. Like he's hasn't been there for that long, right? Like you don't know what
3
like
years I think, yeah.
yeah. Although if you play if he was hired by Chelsea, he probably wouldn't last 3 years anyway. So unfortunate but true. It seems that like 2 years or less is the maximum.
Yeah. And
Um,
they just signed him to a new contract extension.
yeah, I heard they
They
were talking
literally
to him. They're
yes. Like what are you guys doing? We're going to sign you to
um,
extension and fire you. Like, oh my
I
God.
don't know if they had agreed to one, but they were working on one for
Oh, okay.
sure.
Okay.
Uh, so another of the favorites apparently
Okay.
is Zidane, which would
What?
be interesting. He's out of a job right now, but I thought he was just kind of like chilling and didn't really necessarily want another management job. Especially because he's French, of course, joining an
Yeah.
English team.
Yeah.
He
Oh man.
Brendan Rodgers is like another option I'm seeing here, which like
No, that's
would
not
be
gonna
very
happen.
odd.
That's not gonna happen.
Uh, and I was actually joking about it with some friends this morning. I said they should just go get Brendan Rodgers and swap them, give them Tuchel, just see what happens. That'd be hilarious, but it's not gonna happen. I think like he's still backed at Leicester, and like
Yeah.
despite their poor form, like
Yeah.
they could still turn it around.
Yeah. Oh,
Another name that's been coming around,
okay.
Bielsa, formerly of Leeds, and
Yeah.
other European clubs. Um, he's a bit more of an eccentric guy, but who knows?
Yep. I mean, it's. I mean, you gotta think of it
I
this
think
way.
Poch would be the worst of the group. Like, I
Pochettino. Yeah.
I just don't. I never saw anything inspiring from his Spurs team, and he is like a downgrade over the last PSG manager. Actually, they sacked him. Uh, yeah, they were doing so poorly with him
Mhm.
that they sacked him.
Yep.
He's been
Yep.
sacked by Spurs and PSG in the last like 2 years.
And that's what Chelsea does. It's like, oh, good. Oh, you've been sacked by two good teams. Okay, well, now you get a chance with us. Then that's how it works. I'm telling you that I think the front runner, unfortunately, is going to be Graham Potter. I think they'll bring him in, and Graham Potter needs to be smart about this. Think about this. You were in the championship 3 years ago, ninth place in the champ. You finished the season ninth with Brighton. I think it was 3 or 4. I think it was 4 years ago, probably 4 years ago. You went in ninth place, and you brought Brighton to now be upgraded, upgraded, upgraded. You have some good young talent at Brighton right now. You have some young guys that we both have even said are like, you know what? I like the way Brighton's playing. They're playing people tough. I like this. I like what they're doing over there. And if he's smart, he will stay in Brighton and will stay as far away from this crap show that is up there in the top of the league right now.
Yeah, if I were him, I wouldn't want to take the job after
No.
seeing what they just did to the previous manager.
Yeah, a guy and a guy who has won so many trophies or gone to finals in the last 2 years for them, and you can't. What were you supposed to do?
They were in two. They were in both the EFL and the FA Cup finals,
Oh, I didn't know that.
which they
Oh, okay.
lost both to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Both, at least one of them was on penalties.
Yep.
So
Yep.
like, those were very close games.
It
Um,
just wow. Just it's astonishing It's wow.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Hopefully we can get the reaction video on Friday, and we'll get who the new coach is to come in by then.
Right, because they play Saturday, so they're
Yeah,
gonna try and make something happen.
yeah. Who do they play on Saturday?
It's Fulham.
Oh, okay. They'll yeah. They have time then. What's the game after that?
Uh, so they have a midweek game against Salzburg
Okay.
at home in the Champions League.
Okay.
And then after that, it is Liverpool at home.
They're gonna have a coach before that moment then. They got to have they're gonna definitely have a coach before then because
I think in this weekend they'll probably have
yeah.
something done.
I think they already have somebody. I think they really do already have somebody, and it's
Well, they said Potter's in London right now, according to sources or whatever, which who knows.
wasn't Brighton
But
close to London?
I don't actually know.
Oh, we're gonna have to look this up. You're gonna make me edit some
Um,
things, so we're gonna have to figure this out. Okay.
no, no, it's okay.
Brighton. No, not
No,
not
it's in the
Brighton.
south. Well, it, England isn't that huge, but um,
Okay.
they're not terribly far away. Let's say that.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it wasn't in the southwest or something or southeast, I mean.
It's south
Oh,
and a little
south.
bit of east
Yeah.
on the coast.
Yep. Wow. Yeah, he's in London just saying hi to his with family, He's like, "Hey, I gotta just spending time with family." Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
it's fairly close. It's about an hour
It
train
is.
ride,
Yeah.
which yeah,
Yeah, it's our train ride. Hold on. I can actually let you know how far if it's an oh
looks like it.
no.
I
No,
got
it
it
is
up
it is
right here.
more than an hour. Oh, it is.
It says here hour and 5 minutes
That's a
on the
lie.
Thames Link.
Unless their train is faster than the train that I went on. It's the train that I was on. It was actually pretty fast, but maybe it
They got
was
some
only an
fast
hour. Maybe I'm
trains.
wrong. I don't know. I went from Whitley Bay to Newcastle, and that took about 30 minutes with stops and stuff. Maybe it's a straight line, but usually trains are they'll stop in like all the small little towns and stuff like that to get it, and then they got
There's
to go
like
through
express
Carly.
ones here. Looks like
Oh,
it.
okay. Okay. Yeah, maybe it is an express lane. Okay. But we will see what happens. We'll keep you guys updated as much as we can. I know I had to get at least this video out because it was way too important not to. And Matt's tears this week, are gonna be
I don't
running.
know what I'm gonna do, to
I
be
don't know,
honest.
man. I don't know.
Like, I don't know how much more of like rinse and repeat sacking the manager I can take at this point.
I don't, and it's like, dude, it's like, oh, look, this guy's so great. It's like, yep, 2 years, bye, see ya.
Yeah.
Guys, you guys are starting to become the wolves now. I swear, you guys are
Well, I
starting to
think
become
they've been
wolves.
doing it for longer,
Oh
but
yeah, dude, the wolves are getting rid of coaches like every like 3 months. Oh look, you've lost 3 games. Bye. Lost 3 games. Bye. Lost 3 games. Or not Wolves. I'm sorry. I apologize. Watford, not Wolves.
oh,
Watford.
well,
Um.
Watford once had one of their managers poached by Everton,
Mhm.
Marco Silva, who was there for a long
Yep.
time.
Yep.
But then ever since then, they've been
Yeah.
kind of
But we'll see what happens. All right, chat. We will see you guys the next later on this week with our reaction videos to week 5. We'll get them all set up for you before the week starts, and the prediction video for it. Thank you, Matt, again. Go get some sleep, have some fun. I'm gonna go do some videos. I'm gonna go do some stuff. I can't believe this. But all right,
yeah.
guys. You guys have a good night. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, no problem. See you around.